Hello all, Siddhu Patel here. We are going to continue the second class, online class for you people. In the last class, we have discussed some of the points regarding about what exactly the software engineering is. In today's session, we are going to discuss about the professional software development. This also we have discussed in the interaction class with you people. In today's session, I am going to discuss about the new topic, that is software products. You all know that there are different types of products are available in software. So in which category these softwares are going to belong? The first one is generic products. Okay, the first one is comes the generic product, which is useful for the what you are going to call general purpose. In short, we can say that as it is useful for the general purpose. For example, our personal computer softwares such as graphic programs, project management tools, CAD software for specific markets such as appointment system for dentist or any online billing, a general purpose. Okay, and anyone can be used such a softwares. Those softwares are going to come under the generic products. So standalone system that are marketed and sold to any customer who wishes to buy them. If we are the customer for them, and we are going to buy those products, and we comes under the whatever the softwares we are going to buy, those comes under the generic products. Next comes the product specification, in that customized product. Next is a customized product. For example, it will be used for the business purpose. For here you can see that embedded control system, air traffic control software, and traffic monitoring system. Or the best example for is that you all of you know the in the car, locking the car, we are using the one of the software. Okay, those are comes under the customized product. One of the car manufacturing company is asking for that product, that software, and one of the manufacturer are going to, or one of the company is going to develop that software, and they are going to sell it for only car manufacturer. They are not going to, that software is not used for the general purpose. Software that is commissioned by the specific customer to meet their own needs. The best example is air traffic control software, traffic monitoring software, and whatever the software is taken or buy from the one of the to meet the desired results. So those comes under the customized product. Next is essential attributes for good software. So when you are going to say that the software is good, the day by day you people are using the software, you can easily say that this software is good, this software is, we are facing the some of the problems. So what are the good attributes of that? The first one is maintainability. Okay, what will be the maintainability? A software should be written in such a way that it can evolve to meet the changing needs of the customer. It should be maintained with respect to the time, with respect to change in the needs of the customer. The product or the software is going to be maintained. Next, dependability and security. Software dependently includes the range of characteristics including the reliability, security, and safety. Dependable software should not cause the physical or economical damage in the event of the system failure. Okay, the what is going to happen, when it comes to dependability and security, the software should be going to meet the desired requirement of the customer, and it also should provide the security. So when the whatever the software, the Gmail is one of the software we are using, we can easily trust that software because it is providing the high-end encryption and security. Next comes the efficiency. Software should not make the wasteful use of the system resource such as a memory and processor cycle. So whatever the software we are buying or we are developing, that software should be efficient. Okay, it should not consume more memory, more what we are going to processing cycles. It should be we complete the task within the time. Okay, so these are the attributes of the good software. And last but not the least, acceptability. Software must be acceptable to the type of the users for which it is designed. This means that it must be understandable, usable, and compatible with the other system also. So usually what is going to happen, the in output of the one of the software will be the input for the next software. For example, in the image processing we can say that you people are using some of the softwares which is going to take the image, and next modification you people are going to do it, some of the editing work you are doing it. So for those editing work, what will be we require the output, or we require the input will be the output from the a camera, the camera's software. So these are the most important essential attributes: maintainability, dependability, security, efficiency, and acceptability. So this is one of the important question for your exam purpose of view. In interaction session we will discuss in detail about these things. Next comes the software engineering. We discussed what will be the software engineering definition in the first class itself. So once again I will repeat it. Software engineering is an engineering discipline that is concerned with all aspects of software production, from the early stages of the system specification through the maintaining the system after it has gone into use. Okay. Next we have the engineering discipline, all aspects of software production. First one, engineering discipline: using the appropriate theories and methods to solve a problem, bearing in the minds of organization and financial constraint. Okay, so you should use some of the engineering discipline. All aspects of software production, not just a technical process of development, also project management and the development of the tools and methods to support the software production. So this is all about the software engineering. Next, one of the important question: importance of software engineering. Why software engineering is important? Okay, so usually what is going to happen, because of it is important for the mainly two reasons. One is more and more usage of softwares in our day-to-day life, and next one is that it is cheaper and it is going to produce the results in fraction of seconds. So these are the two important aspects or two important reasons why software engineering is important. More and more individual and society rely on advanced software system. We need to able to produce the reliable and trustworthy systems. As it is we have to put along with that we have to think about the cost of that product also, or that software also. And next important, it is usually cheaper. Okay, so day to day life we are using so many softwares. In you people are using in your cell phones. We are using the Google Meet, I am using the OBS Studio. These are the open sources, anyone can use it. Without these softwares it is difficult to engage the interaction classes or online classes. So for this purpose software engineering is important. With respect to the change, with respect with the need of the customer, the software should be developed. So these are the two important reasons for develop software engineering. Next comes the software process activities. So these are the 4 software process activities. Another important point we are going to discuss it today: software specification, software development, software validation, and software evolution. Okay, let's software validation. First one, software specification. It is the same thing. With respect to the customer and engineering define the software that is to be produced and the constraint on its operation. First it is like nothing but the collecting the requirements. Okay, next, software development team. Once the blueprint is ready, what exactly the need of the customer and how the engineering is going to be develop that software. So once the software specification is done, we are going for the software development, where the software is designed and programmed. Next comes the software validation. That is nothing but the testing, where the software is checked to ensure that whatever the software is going to produce, it is going to meet the customer requirement or not. And next comes the software evolution, where the software is modified to the reflect the changing customer and market requirements. Once again I repeat, software specification, what we have to do, okay, and what we needed, that is comes under the software specification. Next, once we are done with what exactly we need required, what the customer is required, being at the developing side, so we have to think that how we are going to design and we are going to program it. Next, once the software is small modules are ready, we are going to test it, and once the test we are going to check that it is going to generate the proper results or not. Once it is going to generate the proper results, next we are making the some of the changes for the evolution, it is going to sustain in the market or not. Okay, so software process activities. Next comes the general issues that affect the software. So what will be the general issues? The first one is heterogeneity. Increasingly the systems are required to operate and distributed systems across the network that includes the different types of computers and devices. So what is going to happen, we people are developing one of the software, that software should be what we are going to executed on our personal PC, that should be going to support the server mainframe PCs, and that should is going to work on the mobile PCs also, that is nothing but our cell phones. Okay, it is going to be useful for the tabs also. So heterogeneity, what is going to happen, the different manufacturing companies are there, different products are they are going to use. For example, being a software application development, so you people know that Android is a one of the operating system, and another is for those who are using the Apple phone, the Mac will be the other operating system. So what is going to happen, heterogeneity is going to occur here. With respect to the Android, we have to for the Android operating system we have to develop the same app, and for the Mac operating system or different operating systems we are going to develop the same app. So this is one of the major or general issues that is going to affect the software, heterogeneity. Next, business and social change. Business and social change. Business and society are the changing incredibly quickly as emerge the economies developed and new technologies become available. They need to be able to change their existing software and rapidly develop the new software. So what is going to happen when it comes to the affecting the softwares? Just a second. Here you can observe that the society and the business incredibly quickly emerging. Today one of the product is coming that is going to be old in few days. So with respect to the customer and the changing requirement, the software should adapt the system. So for that purpose, this is the another point we have to deal with the when being a developer, heterogeneity, business and social change. Change is the only thing which is constant. Next comes the security and trust. So here the important thing is that when security, important point, as a software is we people are developing, it should assure that whatever we are giving that should be safe and secure. For example, we are uploading our photos in Google Drive or Google Photos. So Google is going to give the security. For that purpose we are using it. So if suppose if the security is going to be, we are compromising with the security, then no one is going to buy our software. So first one is heterogeneity, social and business change, and next one security and trust. So these are the three general issues that is going to affect the softwares. Next comes the software engineering diversity. So when it comes to the diversity, there are many different types of software systems, and there is no universal set of software techniques that is applicable to all these. It is should be adapted. We are not going to use the same method, same tools, same technique for developing each and every software. With respect to the problem, we are going to use the different technique. The software engineering methods and tools used depend on the type of application being developed, the requirements of the customer and the background of the development team. So it comes the diversity. Next comes the application type. So when you people are thinking about the which kind of softwares or what are the types we are using, those under comes the which categories. So first comes the standalone applications. In standalone applications, these are the nothing but the a local computer such as our personal computers. They include the necessary functionality and to be connected with the network. A standalone, a simple laptop with Wi-Fi or wired internet connection. So for such for supporting such a things, we are going to develop the software. Next, interactive transaction based application. Interactive transaction based application. So what are these? To understand this, we have to go for the e-commerce. One of the application is e-commerce. You people are using the e-commerce sites day to day life in your. What is the e-commerce sites? We have to depend up the whatever the software you people are using, that is interactive transaction based application. We are going to make the transaction, and so that it is going to support the real time system. Okay, and where there is, when it comes to the business, then the securities are also one of the major issues. Next comes the embedded control system. When it comes to the word called embedded, you have to think that software and hardware. What is that? Software and hardware, combination of both the things. Whatever you are going to see your in your what you are going to call day to day life, for example washing machine, that is a combination of hardware and software. Okay, so first one is standalone applications, which will be used for the general purpose. Next, interactive transaction based, which is used for the e-commerce sites. And next one is the embedded, where it comes the combination of both the hardware and software. Next comes the batch processing system. What exactly the batch processing system? These are the business system. These are the business system that are designed to process the data in large batches. The process of large numbers of individual inputs to create the corresponding outputs. So for example, we have to batch processing system is that billing system. Okay, there is a offer is there, one of the e-commerce site, you all are going to put the your orders. So what it is going to happen, one by one it have to process the those orders, and according to that it have to be produce the billing. Okay, so this is the batch processing system types of softwares. Okay, next comes the entertainment system. These are the system that are primarily for the personal use and which are intended to entertain their users. For example, again any gaming app software, any music app which you people are going to use in day to day life, for it's for the entertainment purpose. Okay, next comes the system for modeling and simulation. System modeling and simulation. So these are the high performance softwares. Probably what we are going to call when you people are going to work in your MNC companies, that time you people are going to go for the system modeling and simulation. So when it comes to the best example for system modeling, you people have seen the one of the movies called Inception. Okay, there's too much of simulation is there. What is nothing but they are going to take the data and they are going to process it. So those kind of softwares are going to come under the system for modeling and simulation. These are the systems that are developed by the scientists and engineers to model the physical process of or situation, which may include the separate and interactive objects. Okay, so these are comes under the another application type. Next comes the data collection system. These are the systems that collect the data from the environment using a set of sensors and to send that data to the other system for processing. Is nothing but the artificial intelligence or nothing but the internet of things. There are so many sensors are we are going to use to collection of the data. So the best example for data collection system is weather recognition. Okay, so how we are going to say that coming in 4 days we are going to get the lot of what we are going to call rain on etc etc. So these comes under the data collection system. And last comes is the systems for system. These are the systems that are composed of a number of other softwares. So when you are using so many softwares to maintain all the softwares, we are using some of the systems. Those comes under the systems for systems. So that's for the in second session. In the next session we are going to continue in the next class. Thank you.